All right. So we just listened through the new Static Dress album, Rouge Carpet Disaster. Now we are going to discuss it. We're going to take some turns talking about it, and then take turns rating it. So, Jordan, thoughts?
Okay, that was pretty cool. Um, I feel like I'll probably have a little bit more of a bias just because I have like the physical and I have the lyric book and stuff. Because for
Yeah.
me, that definitely helps a lot. Because like less definitely with like this kind of music that has like a lot of vocal effects. Sometimes it's kind of hard to hear what they say. That and there just adds a lot more having like the story and all that stuff. Especially being a concept album, like that probably is one of my favorite things about it. And just because whenever you have a concept album, you can have a lot of themes and callbacks and like it's just more cohesive of a thing more than
Hmm.
just like an album that just has a bunch of songs like the Motionless in White album that we listened to
Yeah,
where
definitely
it's there's a
inconsistent.
bunch of songs where it's like one style kind of, so it definitely helps being consistent. Man, like the production on this was like really crazy with like there's so many different like synth layers and like guitar layers, vocal layers, just like there's so much going on. Like I've heard what like there's what one, two, three, I think three singles on here. And even listening to them now, like I've heard like new
Oh
things
yeah,
in the background.
sounds totally
That
different
oh my god.
mixed in with
Yeah.
like all the other songs.
Yeah. And that too, having it flow through pretty seamlessly. Not on every song, but for most of the songs, and having like things in between to tie it all together just makes it like so much better. Uh, Instrumentally is I wouldn't say it's like just straight post hardcore because there's a lot of like different just like little things here and there that they throw in there that like I guess not a lot of bands really do in this kind of genre.
Hmm.
Well, definitely not to this level where it's like, like soundtrack level, like, you know, ambient type
I mean,
things.
yeah, there was like violins in that one song and shit. Um,
Yeah,
that's what that's what
that
reminded
definitely
me
drives it
of.
home.
That's what reminded me of like a Perfect Circle. Some stuff like that. Maybe even a little bit of Smashing Pumpkins. I think.
Yeah, I hear that definitely. So yeah, I mean, obviously being mixed and produced by Loathes guitarists, there's definitely a lot of crossover.
Hmm.
I think, but I think maybe on the next record they'll probably come more into their own, or maybe not even record. Probably there's probably gonna be like 3 EPs or something this year.
Right.
I don't know. They put out a lot of music, and a lot of the music that they put out does not end up on like anything, which is also kind of cool, I think.
Yeah.
But it definitely makes it a little bit harder if you have like a cohesive story going, because then you got to listen through like four different EPs and album. You got to like go look at Reddit and like look at stuff, trying to figure out the story. But yeah, also being a concept album, having a story, having it all in the lyric book just takes it to a different level. It's not just the music at that point; it's more of just entertainment.
Yeah.
Not
I
a lot of
mean,
bands can really do that.
I'll say even me, like without having all that, you can still feel it in the music. Like there's a lot in there, like the little sound effects and in between tracks and stuff like that. And with the bleed in of each song, the little connections, like you could feel like the story that they're trying to tell, which is really cool. So it makes me
Yeah,
wish
I
I had
really want to
the.
know.
Now I'm like, damn, now I wish I had the.
But even then, I have the lyric book, and it's like I only know like half the story. Like what it seems like is like I think there was a couple. They weren't like a long time couple. They weren't together for that long. But I think they both murdered the other partner's last partner, and they went to like some hotel to like bury the body, but somewhere along the way the other person, I guess, gets jealous and kills the other person and buries them with the other person.
Hmm.
Yeah, but also I can't really tell if like the killer is like human or what, cuz like kept saying, like the footprints, like the white ones, you can see where they go in and out of the rooms, but the red ones, they only go into the rooms. They don't come out. And then there was
Maybe
even like a
it's
spot near the end where there was like a, I think it was the projector room.
maybe one of them doesn't really actually exist and just talks the other person into doing it or something like that. I don't know.
Maybe. So,
Like I said, I'd have to look at it too. But that'd be pretty cool. I
yeah,
mean, if it was like, something deep like that. Um,
I have to find a way to like translate this uh, binary code, because I 100% know that there's something on it, because there's like huge paragraphs of just ones and zeros like on every page. So
yeah.
I'm like, yeah. So
Uh,
it was pretty good.
Um. All right. So, I'd say it start. So my notes here, I've got. I think it starts out. As soon as it starts out, I hear Under Oath. It's very Under Oath, post-hardcore kind
Yeah.
of feel. But then like it as it goes along, it definitely grows into much more than that, which I appreciated more because I'm not the biggest Under Oath fan, you know. Um, so hearing, you know, there's like some other like the Used in there, as we've said, Deftones, Perfect Circle, Smashing Pumpkins. There's this all it's all these kind of little inflections that I think made it a lot bigger than just Under Oath worship. I'm glad that that's not what it was. Um, and I want to say like it's very so it's they're one of the bands that have the throwback, you know, 2000s post hardcore sound. But I will say I don't know if it's because of um the progressive nature of the album, the concept and all that. Um, I think this band actually really has they sound genuine. It sounds like this is just them. This is their music. They're not trying. It's not a gimmick. You know, they're not trying to sound like throwback. That's just the music that comes out of them. It's very genuine feeling, which is a
Yeah, I
huge
definitely
thing.
know that because they're very
Yeah,
hands on.
it's
Like they
it's
do
a
their own
huge thing to
videos
have.
and everything.
Yeah, and I think like it's very like I don't know how to explain it, how to put it into words. Just the music is very like big and like you can just feel a lot of the music in there and I don't know what the words I'm trying to say are.
To me, it feels really personal without being
yeah.
about like I did this, I felt this. It's they put more work into it.
Yeah.
Like Deftones lyrics, like a lot of them are like completely nonsensical, but that's kind of a good thing, because like a lot of times like you kind of get caught up in like what I said with like figuring
Yeah.
out the story,
Yeah.
and sometimes you need to kind of just listen to the music. So
Yeah.
I can definitely
It's
see a lot of that.
um and yeah, like I said, production was huge. Production was super spot on, perfect for everything. And you know, I don't listen to a lot of post hardcore in this style, aside from like nostalgia, you know, stuff that I used to listen to. But I still have a pretty big appreciation for this. Like I said, it's very the fact that it's very genuine feeling that it sounds like it's not a gimmick, you know. Like when I say it, like I don't want to mean it in a bad way, but like when I listen to See You Space Cowboy, like I feel like they're trying to sound like that, you know what I mean? And with this type of music from this band, this like it's natural. It just feels like natural. Like it just I don't know. It's there's something about it that's pretty cool. So I'd say it was really good. For again for me not like listening to a lot of like post hardcore like this. I had a lot of appreciation for a lot of the things that they did. So ratings. So Jordan, what would you give this?
So I'm not gonna give it a perfect 10, but I'll give it a 9. It definitely had the emotional aspect because like literally every song I just had goosebumps the whole time. Like they know they I don't know what it is. I don't know how they do it, how bands do this, but they just pick those like those specific chords and notes and progressions that just like it makes you feel
Yeah.
like you feel like welling up like
Yeah, like that's like part of
really
what I'm
emotional.
saying. Like it's very, it just has like a real, it's very grounded, and I don't know. I don't know why I can't describe the feeling that I get from it. It's
Yeah,
just very,
it
it's
really
very
really is.
personal and grounded, and natural
Yeah.
feeling. Um,
Also being a concept album, that definitely brings it up for me. The throwback sound definitely calls to me more than something like the Motionless in White.
mhm. Yeah. So rating wise, I'll give it an 8. Um, again, mostly just because I don't, that's, I want to give it a 9 almost, but I don't feel as connected to it as, but that's mostly again just because of um the style doesn't speak to me as much anymore personally, but objectively still, you can hear a lot in the music just how like really well done, really thought out. They put a lot of care and love into the music. Like
Oh
it
yeah.
feels like it's genuine music from these people, and I really appreciate them for that. And like I said, the like Jordan said, the progressive stuff, the concept and all that, there's a lot of work in this, and it really you can really feel it. Especially I love the ending. They had that second to last track, the real soft build up, very big, like emotional feeling song. uh, I really appreciate him for that. So I'm gonna give it an 8, but it's a very high 8, for me. So yeah, I thought it was pretty great.
Yeah.
So
I'm
8 for
very, very
me,
hyped.
9 for Jordan. So still very very high. Um,
I
I
think it needed maybe one more heavy song. Maybe uh, maybe no, I don't want to say second to last because that second to last track was really good. I'd say
yeah
maybe one more heavy song like before that,
yeah.
and that would have been good.
Um,
Should have been longer.
yeah, but again, still very super solid album. I'd say
Oh
this would
yeah.
probably this would be probably in my top 5 of the top 5 EP. Oh, this is an album, isn't it? Why would I say EP? Um, I could see it fighting for maybe like a number 5 spot. It could be working in its way in there, even if for something I might not go back and listen to very often, or you know put on a playlist or anything. I think it works. I think that like we were talking about, the singles work even better in the album, in the scope of an album, than just hearing it.
Yeah, because they did the Scion thing and they put all the singles basically at the beginning of the record and had everything else